Good morning, Mackenzie Johnston with Cattle News Central, bringing you your March 24th cattle industry headlines. Sponsored by the Cattlemen's Sort of Alpine, Kansas. They're going to be hosting their second annual bull sale this Friday, March 26th, at the Highland Ranch headquarters near Alpine. They're going to be selling 80 Angus, Simmental, and Sim Angus bulls, along with 23 to 4-year-old commercial pairs with calves sired by renowned Cattlemen's Sort bulls. If you can't make it to the sale, go ahead and hop on over to DV Auction. You can bid and buy online there. And if you have any questions about this sale, go ahead and give Doug Steele a jingle at 641-740-0121. And to check out the lineup for this sale, head on over to their website, thecattlemen'ssort.net. According to RCALF USA, the USDA's Animal and Plant Health Inspection Service, also known as APHIS, announced yesterday that it will not be implementing its July 5th, 2020 Federal Register notice that would have required the use of radio frequency identification ear tags, also known as RFID tags, on all adult cattle and bison moved interstate beginning January 1, 2023. In October, RCALF USA submitted formal comments contending that APHIS's mandatory RFID notice was unlawful, and the only way that the agency could change current law was to conduct a formal rulemaking process. This announcement by APHIS shows that the agency plans to do just that, move forward with a formal rulemaking process to implement a mandatory RFID program in the near future. According to RCALF USA CEO Bill Bullard, APHIS's announcement is good for U.S. cattle producers because it means that the impending threat of a costly RFID mandate is now removed. With that being said, Bullard believes that the agency will continue with their efforts to force the costly mandate upon America's independent cattle producers, so we must not stop defending the rights of producers. According to the Washington Post, in the last week there has been a significant increase in the amount of families and children crossing the Rio Grande into South Texas, which has forced U.S. Customs and Border Protection to request airplanes to transport migrants to states along the Canadian border. These states range anywhere from Montana to North Dakota to Michigan. The Air Transport Plan is the latest measure in the Biden administration's scramble to deal with a growing emergency that officials are not calling a crisis, but instead they're calling it a stressful challenge. It is unclear if Customs and Border Protection will provide winter clothing for families and children that are sent to northern states if this actually happens. The Federal Emergency Management Agency will be providing $110 million in funding to nonprofit groups and government agencies to help care for families and children crossing the southern border. These funds will come from $510 million in supplemental funding through the American Rescue Plan Act. There's no end to the money. I don't know where it comes from, but there's just no end to it. Reuters has reported that on Monday, Spain ordered the slaughter of approximately 1,600 head of cattle that have been aboard the Albique livestock ship since December. This news comes just weeks after 850 head of cattle aboard another vessel, the Lebanon Karim Allah, met a similar fate. All of those cattle were slaughtered. These are the same two ships that I have been talking about for about, the past month and a half. They set sail before Christmas. According to Spain's ag ministry, the animals were unfit for further travel and would not be re-imported into the European Union, so they must be isolated and killed in the coming days. Turkish authorities rejected both ships back in December over concerns that the cattle had bovine blue tongue virus. The ships then continued to sail around the Mediterranean, hoping to find a new buyer, but they were clearly unsuccessful. According to an animal rights group, 179 cows perished on the Albique during its journey, and they were then thrown overboard. Many of the remaining animals were malnourished and dehydrated, and some were barely conscious after being crammed in manure-filled pens without any room to lie down. I'm not exactly sure who the finger needs to be pointed at in this situation, if it's Spain's ag ministry or if it's the exporter that had sold these cattle to Turkey and it didn't all pan out. However, this is an incredibly inhumane situation that should never happen. I don't care where in the world that we're selling cattle and we're moving them around, but something like this should never happen. Absolutely not. Moving on, National Beef Wire reported yesterday that choice box beef ended the day at $233.99. That was up $3.04. And select box beef ended the day at $225.23, and that was up $2.18. That is all I have for you guys this morning. I hope everyone is having a great week. I hope some of you are getting some of this rain that we've been getting here in central Nebraska. I'm not exactly sure how much we've gotten, but my goodness, it is muddy. Have yourself a wonderful Wednesday, and I'll see you guys tomorrow morning.